Hi guys, Ms. Chicatelli here. This is how I'm going to be introducing new artists during the time that we are home. Um, I guess the silver lining is that now our parents get to see and learn about all the artists that we get to learn about as well. The artist we're going to be studying this time will be Pablo Picasso. Pablo Picasso is a very famous artist. And I think that you're going to find some of his stuff kind of crazy and cool at the same time. We're going to be looking more closely at his blue and rose periods. For those of you who have been in my class recently, you'll understand why, because we just mixed together our paints from a color to a lighter color, and then we also mixed together our paints from a color to a darker color. Do you guys remember what those were called? When you mix together white into a color, it is called a tint. And if you mix together black into a color, it's called a shade. Very good. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be studying this artist, and then we're going to be using his style of drawing to create a portrait of ourselves. So stay tuned so that you can learn a little bit about his life and his artwork. And then we're going to have a tutorial on how to do this really fun project. Okay, there he is, Pablo Picasso. So I just wanted to give you some fun facts about him. Picasso was born in Malaga, Spain in 1881. Yes, this is a very long time ago. He became one of the greatest and most influential artists of the 20th century, and he also became the creator of Cubism with another artist named George Barak. He was a Spanish painter, sculptor, printmaker, ceramicist, and a stage designer. So he wasn't the greatest student while he was in school, but of course he was really a talented drawer, and this came at a very young age. Normally, children have the first words of mama and dada, right? Well, guess what Picasso's first words were? If any of you are Spanish speaking, the word lapis means pencil in Spanish, and his first words were peace. This was his childish attempt at saying that word lapis in Spanish for his first words. He also was taught by his dad to draw and paint when he was a child. And guess what? By the time that he was 13 years old, he had the skill level that was way better than his dad's. So this next slide, you're going to see a painted picture of a woman. And guess what, guys? He painted this when he was 15 years old. Every time I teach this, I still can't believe it myself. 15 years old really isn't that far off from you guys. And I don't even know if I could paint something this good. So here's a vocabulary word for you, realistic. The word realistic means it looks as close to real life as possible. So as close to a picture or as what it would look like in person. Picasso attended art school in Barcelona. While living both there and in Madrid, he would walk around the cities and he would draw and sketch what he saw. And then he would go back to his studio and he would paint them. He would sketch people, music, instruments, and places. And he was inspired by the moods he felt when he saw things. This is something that's very important. Picasso's pictures and paintings and artwork are very heavily influenced by emotions and things that he would feel when he would see these things. Let's take a look at these three artworks that we put here. What is in them? What are the people doing? How do you think that the people in these pictures feel? And yes, in the middle, those are people. Those are actually some, it's called the musicians, and it's a band. The one on the left is a painting that's from his blue period, and the one on the right is a painting from his rose period. What do you think is happening? I'd like you to sit here just for a few minutes and take a look at these artworks. Maybe discuss it with your parents. Maybe just think of it yourself. What are you feeling, and what is it that you see in these paintings? Take a second to do that now. So I'd like to talk to you guys a little bit about these different colored periods that Picasso would have. Picasso would go through different types of periods using a monochromatic color scheme. Monochromatic means he uses one single color as the main color in those paintings. So during this time in the Blue Period, it is the term used to define the works produced by Picasso between 1901 and 1904, when he painted monochromatic paintings in shades of blue and blue-green. These works were inspired by Spain and painted in Barcelona and Paris. They were mostly of sad images, of beggars, lonely streets, and people, and they are now some of the most popular works he had ever created, but he had trouble selling them when he was making them. They reminded people, I guess, of really sad times. The color blue is very, very used to describe sadness and loneliness. So I'd like you to take a second, just look at these pictures. I know you saw the one of the man already. The man on the left is actually a beggar, and the woman on the right is sitting near a window. So I'd like you guys to just take a second to look at these and to just start to notice even the facial expressions and the body language of these two individuals are showing sadness, and it's not just the color. So I'd like you to take a look at this for just 1 minute. His next period comes the Rose period. This is the time when his paintings started to become a little bit more cheerful. And the reason for that, believe it or not, is because he got married. During this time, Picasso would use cheerful colors of orange and pink, and these colors would contrast those cool and somber tones of the previous Blue period. This is the time where he has created these monochromatic schemes using only one color still, and he would use only these reds and oranges and pinks. This period lasted from 1904 to 1906. As you can see in the last painting there, the orangey one with the background of the man, that's actually a self-portrait of Picasso. And during this time, he started to get a little bit more abstract with his drawing and with his portraits. So you're going to see a little bit more abstract paintings as we go forward from here. Remember before when I used that word cubism? Cubism is an art movement that was created by Picasso in which everyday realistic things are broken apart and simplified and then rearranged like these faces. They may look crazy, but in Picasso's brain, he was bored of what he was seeing in everyday life. He wanted to change how he was seeing things. He was able to create these really crazy, abstract looking portraits in his brain. He would rearrange everything that he could see as he was doing it. So these subjects were sitting in front of him for the most part, and then he would take what he would see and rearrange it in his brain, and then he would paint it this way. So we're going to be creating abstract portraits of ourselves using a little game called Roll a Picasso. Okay, I'm going to have you press pause on me here, and I want you to go run and grab a piece of paper, a pencil, and a dice. You can find a dice in most of your board games that you have if you have any board games at home, but if you don't have one, that's totally okay too. I can walk you through how to do this without one. Okay, see you in a few minutes. Okay, guys, so we've got a piece of paper, we've got our dice, we've got our roll of Picasso sheet. I also brought a Sharpie. If you have a dark, if you have a black color pencil, or if you have a black crayon, or a regular black marker or Sharpie, this will work. You don't need this step, but if you have it, it'll be great. All right, so basically, what you're going to do here is a fun game. You have the dice pictures here. The only thing that we're going to change is that we need two eyes, okay? So first roll, whatever number you get, it's going to be the face shape. Second and third roll, you're going to get two eyes. Fourth roll, so disregard this. Fourth roll, you're going to put your nose. And fifth roll, you're going to do your mouth, okay? If you don't have a dice, that's totally okay. You can rip up pieces of paper and put number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you can pick, like out of a hat, shake them up and pick a number, and then that'll be the one that you have for this. Okay? So I'm going to use my dice. I'm going to shake it up. First number I get is 1. So this is going to be my face shape. So the way I'm going to draw this nice and big, because we're going to put shoulders and neck and shoulders into this too. So here's my face shape. Kind of funky looking. So now from here, I can already put my neck and my shoulders. Okay, later on we're gonna add a shirt and maybe something else on it. Okay, my roll 2. Oh, number 1 again. Okay, so I'm going to draw this eye. This crazy looking eye. Nice and big, guys, like I always say, right? Remember, it's supposed to look crazy, guys. This is Picasso. Picasso portraits are not going to look like a regular portrait. Okay, so now I'm going to roll again. Number 4. 4, this is the other eye. Picasso would sometimes draw the profile, meaning the side of the face, eyes closed, eyes open. Kind of look like it's having almost 2 faces in one. Okay, now my nose. 6. Here's my nose. You could do this with me. You can watch me do it first. This is totally up to you. Don't worry about the thickness of the lines here. Just draw the shape. Okay? Last one is 4. So 4, this is going to be my mouth. Okay, now from here, this is the fun part. You can add hair, you can add accessories. I want you to make this yourself. Of course, this is going to be very abstract, so we need to make sure that we somehow figure out how to show us that this is you. So maybe what you're wearing today, if you wear glasses, if you have long hair or short hair, that's what you're going to add to this now to make it seem like it's you. So I'm going to do that, and you're going to do it too. So now when you draw hair, you can draw on top of your lines that you have made for your face and shoulders. And then to show that one thing is behind the other, you erase the inside lines. Does everybody see how I did that? So anything that would be on the inside or being hidden by my hair, I'm going to erase. Okay, does it look like me already, or what do you think? All right, so now I'm going to add my shirt. Oops. All my friends know that I wear an A necklace, right, boys and girls? I'm going to put my A necklace on here to make it look like it's a little bit more like me. Okay, from here, if you have that black marker, what I'd like you to do is outline the whole entire thing. If you have a black crayon, that would be great. Anything else that you can find in your home that might be a dark color. It could be even navy blue, just really, really dark. Could be the color that you're going to choose next. So I'm going to do that, and you guys finish up before we start the coloring part. That's all for today, guys. So what I'd like you to do from here is once you finish this drawing, I'd like you to please upload it onto the Google Classroom so that I can see that you have finished it. And so that if you need any help or pointers from there, you can ask me on there. Next week, we're going to be adding color, and we're going to be doing that using one single color like Picasso did, using a monochromatic color scheme. All you'll need is one crayon or one colored pencil. You could even do this with just regular pencil as well, if you don't have any access to different colors. Okay, I can't wait to see what you guys do, and I'll see you all next week. Have a great week.